Alexis Oliva, Unit 5. It was a beautiful afternoon. The weather was nearly perfect that July in the Poconos. We spent all our summers at the lake. Our father insisted we vacation there, just as he spent 4 summers of his childhood with his foster family on a Pennsylvania glacier lake. For most of his early years, he'd been tossed around from home to home. The summers he spent on the lake were the only true happiness he received in the time of his David Copperfield life, and he was determined to give us the same kind of happiness. When his law practice was stable and my parents had saved enough money, my father chose a parcel of land on which we could carve out our memories. He chose our lot a quarter of a mile from the lake and built our modest 2-story log cabin on a hill so high our legs would be burning as we huffed and puffed to the top. There were 2 small bedrooms downstairs, plus a day room where we spent most of our time. My sister, 2 brothers, and I slept upstairs in the loft, a small room with sloping walls that was crammed with 2 sets of bunk beds and 2 dressers. It was just like Little House on the Prairie, except there was running water, a gas oven, toilet paper, and the absence of the gentle wisdom and patience of Charles Ingalls. Despite all appearances to the contrary, a growing law practice, a second house, a wife, and 4 children, my father was a very volatile, violent man. 4 years in good foster care was a life raft that had kept him from falling into the abyss, but a life raft is not a foundation. Though he'd earned a full scholarship to college and put himself through law school, my father's unforgiving child had left him a powder keg. My younger brother and I survived by hiding in closets and holding our breath. When that wasn't an option, we took turns being the anvil when his hammer came down. My mother was a good wife, loyal to her handsome, whip-smart husband. If at times he became a torrent of hands and expletives that was simply an unpleasant side of the man she'd chosen for life. And if we couldn't behave ourselves, what could she do? The only protection she could afford us was preventative. She kept us clean, polite, and as quiet as possible. She kept a neat house and cooked and washed and pressed our clothes and took us to church. Every so often, if we were lucky, she managed to soothe him before things got completely out of hand. My father had decreed that we spend our entire summers at the cabin, from the day after school got out to Labor Day, while he worked back home. On Friday nights, he made the 3-hour drive north to spend weekends with us. Preparations for his arrival began on Wednesday, when my mother, tense and wound tight, would start the cleaning and laundry. On Thursday morning, she'd smile and say in a sing-song voice, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches, and eat apples and play in the shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money." "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples." "Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day, the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife, I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time. And then he came back. The tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. I want a boat that'll take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat? Cut down my trunk and make a boat, said the tree. Then you can sail away and be happy. And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. After a long time, the boy came back again. I am sorry, boy, said the tree, but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone. My teeth are too weak for apples, said the boy. My branches are gone, said the tree. You cannot swing on them. I am too old to swing on branches, said the boy. My trunk is gone, said the tree. You cannot climb. I am too tired to climb, said the boy. I am sorry, sighed the tree. I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I never said I wanted to separate from you. If I had, I wouldn't be here now. You, on account of your love for me, have tyrannized over me, bothered me, badgered me, nagged me for 15 years. You have interfered with me, taken my time, my strength, and prevented me from accomplishing great works for the good of humanity. You have crushed my soul, which longs for serenity and peace, and your perpetual complaining. But you see, my dear, I am more philosophical than you, and I recognize all this as necessity. Men and women are natural enemies, like cat and dog, only more so. They are forced to live together for a time, or this wonderful race couldn't go on. In addition, in order to have the best children, men and women of totally opposite temperaments must live together. The shock and flame of two hostile temperaments meeting is what produces fine children. Well, we have fulfilled our fate and produced our children, and they are good ones. But really, to expect to live in peace together, we as different as fire and water, or sea and land, that is too much.